Hey everybody, it's Holly
And Heather.
and welcome to another edition of Everything ELVIS. Today, we're taking you guys to Vegas.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Bright Light City. Okay,
Thank you. Anyway, there's been a couple of happenings this week, some very interesting stuff in our Elvis world. Most have to do with Vegas. Heather's going to tell you all about it. We've got some pictures of it to show you, and I bet our avid Elvis besties already probably know about this, but hey, we thought we'd bring it to you. Let's dive into it. I've already told Heather I'm getting a little FOMO. Like I want to go catch a plane to Vegas right now because it all sounds so amazing and stuff. Heather.
Yes.
Let's talk all about it.
Yeah, super excited. I've worn my Vegas shirt in honor of it, and my mug matches it.
Look at you with your matching mug.
I know, I'm super excited.
You know you're an Elvis fan when you have a t-shirt and matching mug.
Yes. No, super excited to talk today because, yes, as we all know, we love Elvis. Elvis is synonymous with Vegas. And there was a couple of cool things that popped up on the internet today associated with Elvis and Vegas. Mm-hmm. So we thought we'd talk all about that today, just in case some of you haven't seen it. Do we want to just dive right in? Do we want to say hello to some people?
Well, let's say hello to some people.
And welcome in. Hope you all are doing great. Yep. Hope everybody had a fantastic Father's Day. Dad and I did. We had a great one. It was super fun. As you can probably tell from my voice, I've got some allergy stuff going on.
You do?
Whew, I don't know, but the past 3 or 4 days, it has been allergy city for me. So I'm fighting a little bit of that, but I've got my water and my coffee. And then the weather here has been hot. It has been hot and humid.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think it literally got up to 101 as far as the feel.
It's so crazy.
So I'm thinking Elvis week, it's going to be a scorcher.
I know.
If this is any indication, because we're only to June 22nd?
Yep.
Elvis week's going to be a scorcher, you all. But hope the weather's great where you are. Hope you're doing well. Not having any allergy craziness and stuff.
Yeah. So we'll say hi to some people, but let's just go ahead and tell them. We're going to be talking about some really exciting things in Vegas. As you all know, the Westgate,
formerly the International,
formerly the Hilton, is where it all started in Vegas for Elvis. And they are doing a really neat kind of, I would say, an Elvis experience. They're also refurbishing some of Elvis's suite. We're going to talk all about that. It's amazing. There's also a big festival coming up in July. We'll talk about that. There's also
an exhibit.
An exhibit
that's being curated by a couple of people I think you wouldn't expect.
I know.
And Elvis has been included in a very cool way.
Yeah. So
we got photos. You're going to love it.
So much to talk about. So how is everyone? And let us know in the comments. Have you heard about all these exciting things in Vegas? Are you going?
Yeah. Have you been to Vegas? You know, Holly and I have been to Vegas several times, but man, it's been a long time. It's been a really long time since we've been back to Vegas.
Yeah.
And now I want to go.
Me too.
And we tried. We're trying to make the Summerfest that we'll talk about here in a little bit happen, and it just didn't happen. But hopefully some of you out there are getting the opportunity to go because it's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible.
It is. It really is. So
let's see. Let me get on my comments here. Since I got my phone and I can easily do it.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Hello, Laura. How are you doing today? Angelique, always great to see you on here. Good morning, Barbara. Hope you're doing well. Margaret, hello. How's it going? Cinda, she says she's here in Montana. They got snow hit in Glacier National Park.
What?
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. Hello,
crazy.
Debbie. Hello,
Penny.
Linda. We are having a wonderful day so far. David, hello. How are you today?
Yes.
He says, Viva Las Vegas. Going to be a terrific show.
Exactly.
I know. He's saying, can you believe that's the way it was 55 years ago? I know. We're going to be talking about that more in the upcoming weeks because it ties straight into our goodie boxes this year. Let's see. Tisa, hello. She's got our countdown right here at the beginning. I love it. So we're currently 47 days, 20 hours, 56 minutes, and some seconds till Elvis week. That's like a serious countdown coming on.
It is. It is.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
and as
wow,
you can
wow.
tell, Heather started her countdown to Elvis Week with a cool video on Friday. So check that out if you missed it.
Yeah, I decided to also add, we've been doing our Motivational Monday, Tuesday Treasures with Heather, and our Throwback Thursdays. But I thought, leading up to Elvis Week, since we're about 8 Fridays
Yeah.
away from Elvis Week, I thought I'd do a little flashback Friday and just post some really cool, videos and things through the years. So I did. I posted what I had forgot. I even had on my phone. I was like going back through my phone trying to find stuff, and it was from 2018.
Wow.
That shows you how much stuff I have on my phone and why it's always full. But yeah, I found a really cool video that I posted that I took of the Elvis on Stage show back in 2018, and it was a montage that they had put together. And man, oh man, talking about Vegas, did Elvis look great?
Wow.
Holy cow!
Yeah, looking good.
I was just like mesmerized. Mesmerized by his Greek godness.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yes, it's amazing. So it's definitely, go watch that video. It's really, really cool. Good morning, Ellie from Phoenix. She says it's only going to get to 96 today after being 117.
Okay, then that's probably like a cool breeze.
I know, that's like, whoo, relief.
That's so crazy. That is so crazy.
Hello, Cinda. Hello, Tammy. She says, I would love to go to Vegas right now. Let's get a plane ticket. Come on.
I'm not kidding.
Let's pull our money together. Let's go.
Not kidding.
Hey, Jennifer. Great to see you. I was just going to say, how's Tupelo? And she says, hey, y'all, it's hot in Tupelo as well.
I can imagine. I feel like it's hotter in Tupelo and Memphis than it is in Nashville.
Yes.
And I don't know why, but I just feel that way.
Hello, Cindy. Hello, Sarah. Yeah, everybody's saying Vegas, Vegas. I know, Carrie. Big, big, big prayers going out to Ronnie McDowell. I happened to just see that as I was going to bed last night. I was scrolling through Facebook and I was like, no. Did you see it?
No.
Yeah, so Ronnie McDowell was in Pennsylvania doing a show. And he only got about 3 or 4 songs into his set and he started slurring and not making sense. And his tour manager pulled him off stage and was like, are you okay? And he was like, no, I think I'm having a stroke.
Oh,
so he's in the hospital right now. They're doing tests. They're doing MRIs, CT scans. They're trying to figure out if it was a stroke. So huge prayers to Ronnie McDowell and his family that, they caught it in time if it was a stroke, and that everything's going to be okay because, that's we know how that is. That's devastating. So
prayers to him. Well, good night. I can't believe that.
So let's see.
All right. Well, let's get into our first event.
Okay.
Which one would you like to start with?
We can just talk about the redoing
the Westgate.
Yeah, the Westgate. Yeah.
Well, I got a few little pictures here.
Let's take you back just a minute. Let's take you back. Not that everybody doesn't know this, but we all know that, 69, the International Hotel in Vegas was a huge deal and opportunity for Elvis. So he's just coming off of the major success of the 68 Comeback Special at the end of 68. Him and Colonel are looking for what's next. Colonel, that crazy mad genius, comes up with Vegas. We got to do Vegas. Because, they had also seen how successful, Liberace and the Rat Pack and Frank Sinatra and the success, that they were having in Vegas and stuff. And so, Colonel's like, hey, we got to do this. And it just so happens that coinciding with that, what are they doing? They're building this massive hotel, the International Hotel. And who can be their first headliner and resident? Elvis Presley. So Colonel, working up his deals in the back room, got Elvis a contract to be able to perform at the International Hotel.
Yeah, let me stop for just a minute to show you all the pictures. So this is a picture of the now Westgate back in the day. As you'll see, it's got the iconic sign. It's got now Elvis now. An amazing sign. I don't think it's there anymore. They have revamped it.
Should be.
I know. They should find that thing. You'll notice the hotel as well. Look at the structure of it, and then I'm going to show you all a picture of it now. It's been added onto since then. And a little fun fact, all through the 80s for a 9-year stretch, it was the biggest hotel in the world. In the world.
Yeah, that's what I was reading when they first built it in 69. It was like over, I think, 1,300 rooms. And yeah, at that time, it was like the biggest hotel. I mean, but hello, what does the biggest hotel in the world deserve? The biggest star in the world, Elvis Presley.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you some other like cool, interesting things about like that, because I was trying to go down a rabbit hole and research and stuff. So when Colonel and Elvis, worked out this deal for him to be at the International, the international people actually wanted like a couple of big like headliners and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they chose Barbra Streisand and Elvis. Well, Colonel decided that he wanted Barbra Streisand to go first before Elvis because he wanted her to be able to work out all the kinks.
So smart.
All the kinks
So smart.
with the sound and the room and the tickets, everything.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want there to be any kind of hiccups with Elvis. So he wanted her to kind of be the guinea pig,
Yeah.
which is hilarious. But I was also reading some stuff. There was like a major journalist in Vegas at the time that wrote a lot of the like major pieces and covered all the big happenings in Vegas and stuff. And in part of his article, he wrote about that there was like a night and day drastic difference between Barbra Streisand and her performance and reception in Vegas versus Elvis. He basically said that like hers was not that great. He said that like when she came out, she wanted to sing all these like new songs and these musical songs and stuff. And he's
ballads.
like, that just, he's like, that was not the like crowd and not the vibe. And he was like, it just did not go over very well. And he's like, and then here comes out Elvis. And he was like, and just like, tore up the stage. And he was like, it was just like mesmerizing and amazing. It was like night and day.
Well, so funny. I was watching something on it, and the theater where Elvis performed would technically only seats 1,300 people. But when Elvis had shows there, they packed in nearly 2,000. Only because they had a ton of women that would just do standing room only, and they would just come like, there's the stage and there's like a little open area. Then you have all your booths and all that. And back in the day, I think it was all dinner booths. Like you made a night of it. You picked out your dinner and you had dinner there. Now they have the open area, but then they have seating, and they just have a very, very few booths and stuff. So I don't even know if you can still do a dining experience there. I'm not sure. But they do have some booths, but I'm wondering if that's just like, the VIP.
That'd be really cool if you could, though.
I know. And they should do the exact menu from back in the day. I would love that. So here's a picture of it now. As you can see, the sign has changed. The building has changed. It is massive now. And there at the tippy top on the 30th floor is Elvis's suite.
Yeah. Because, this is where, again, this was like a really exciting time for Elvis. Because as we all know, one thing about Elvis also is he always needed a challenge. He always needed something new, something exciting, something different, a challenge. But he also got bored. He also got bored very easily. But, back in 1969 is when he went. They were literally building the hotel and stuff. And then I don't know if you want to like go ahead and show these pictures.
Sure. So of the suite.
Well, I was going to say.
Him. Yeah, gotcha.
Well, we can maybe show that later because that ties more into the exhibit. Yeah, let's keep going. But anyway, so the Elvis like began his like residency here and stuff. And in the beginning, it was only supposed to be like a short-term thing. Like, they agreed that he was going to do like, a couple of month-long engagements. I think he did February and August, I think is what he was going to do. The hotel actually was like being like finished in February. And then I think he did his opening night in July of that year of 1969. July was when he did his opening night. But it was only supposed to be like a short-term thing or whatever. But we all know that, again, Colonel doing some backroom deals. And that's where that infamous scene from the Elvis movie of Baz Luhrmann comes into play when he's making that deal while Elvis is performing with, the hotel guy, the Hilton guy, because it had now been turned over to the Hilton hotel. And he's making that deal with him, and signing it on the tablecloth. And, he's tying Elvis up for 5 years because it was only supposed to be a couple years. And so he's tying Elvis up for now 5 years for this massive amount of money that they're going to pay Elvis, to do this like continual residency at that. So Elvis spent 7 years at the
actually the Westgate says 8. If you go onto their plaques, they'll say 8. That's what the plaques say.
Yeah. Well, sure. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, he was there for quite a long time. And so, of course, as in the King style, he had to have a place to stay. And it just so happens to be on the 30th floor, the very top 30th floor of the International Hotel. Elvis had his own private personal suite, 5,000 square feet, where he could, just go and relax and hang out and whatever. And I always love it too, because again, and Holly will talk a little bit more about this, because this is tying into what we're talking about today. But I always love too, in the movie, there's that great scene where, Elvis is like done with Colonel. He's done with the hotel. He fires the Colonel. He goes up to the hotel suite, and Vernon comes up there, and approaches him and kind of starts talking about, hey, we
need him. We need some money.
We can't afford to like pay him out his contract. We need money, blah, blah, blah. And Elvis is like, fine, go tell the Colonel that, I'll do it. And then he closes those curtains because, they have those darkening curtains. And apparently they still have like the blackout curtains in the rooms and stuff.
Listen, they have everything but your grandma in this suite. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So basically what they've done is, so there was, like we said, this suite back when Elvis was there. But over the years, I think officially in 94, because they changed the name of it. It was called like the Tuscany Villa Suite, I think, when Elvis was there. And then after Elvis passed away, it was still there, but they changed the name to the Elvis Presley Suite. But in 94, they decided to renovate and remodel it and redo it and create these villas. And it's now called the Imperial Sky Villa. And in coordination with Elvis's 90th birthday this year, they've redone it and really paid homage to Elvis. And they're doing this whole kind of Elvis experience that Holly will show you and talk about.
Here's a few pictures. So now
it's cool.
Now the suite, so it was 5,000 square feet when Elvis was there. They've knocked out walls. They've expanded. They put in an outdoor pool, like you name it. It's 13,000 square feet now.
Like triple the size.
And you can go on. There's a couple of videos from years ago, which it was stunning back 4, 5, 6 years ago. It was so beautiful. But there's 3 different ones. So there's this Imperial one, but then there's 2 others. That's always where one of them is where the resident star stays. Like they have theirs. This 13,000 square foot thing, I'm telling you all, it is absolutely unbelievable. I'm going to show y'all some pictures. And now I did a little research. As of like 4 years ago, you could rent this out for $12,000 to $15,000 a night. Now it is $20,000 a night.
So come on, Elvis Besties, let's all pull our money together.
We can do one night. It sleeps 10. We could sneak in an extra 10. I don't mind sharing. We'll get some sleeping bags.
I mean, if it is where Elvis stayed and where Elvis walked, I will lay on the floor in a sleeping bag.
Listen, I will too.
I will lay on the floor.
So here's a couple of pictures. Let me pull them back.
Can you imagine? Like, imagine how big 5,000 square feet is.
Oh,
like thinking about Elvis having like this swanky 5,000 square foot place on the top of the International Hotel where he could just go and like chill.
Yeah, so this is a picture of one of the bedrooms. There's several. There are several bedrooms and bathrooms, but this is just some of the official pictures that Westgate has put out. So if you'd like to see these for yourself, just go to the Westgate site. This I really love. It's so tastefully done. I'll say this. It looks like they brightened everything up. When it was the Tuscan Villa, everything was very that creamy yellow color, which does remind me of Tuscany. Absolutely. And with like kind of the darker marble and red accents. Now it's all lightened up. It's very light and it's very classy the way they've done it. There's just a huge picture of Elvis, and that's all you need. Is that one big picture. It's stunning. You can look at it here too. It's a little bit bigger. And then here's another picture of another room. So this is part of the grand entryway. There's your desk, and then Elvis is right above it with a big old picture.
Love it. And then would this be the foyer area you were talking about? Tell them what
this might be. So I hope they've gotten, like I say, I took these off the original. Let me see if this is it. Maybe this is where you'd walk into.
These pictures are great.
I know. And that with the triple Elvis on it. Holy cow. Like I say, it's just tasteful. It's still classy and beautiful and sophisticated and looks expensive, but yet you have that nod to Elvis in pretty much every room.
Well, and it's still very reminiscent of that time period, like probably what it looked like back then. You know, when Elvis was there, it's still kind of that same, like it doesn't look like completely like modern and like, you know what I'm saying? It still has that
and it's very
kind of
ornate.
architecture, and it's what I'm saying. It's very like architecture and everything.
Very Graceland. It's very Elvis. But what I was reading about was there's a grand foyer, and I don't have a picture of it. They don't have it on their official site, but there's like when you first walk in, like when you open the door, it's one of those traditional what I call like mansion homes. It's got like the round table in the center with like a giant arrangement of flowers. So right now it's like your foyer and your entryway. Back in the day, it was Elvis's bedroom. And let me take this off.
So that's where I will be with my sleeping bag.
Heather will be sleeping
I will be in the
table.
foyer with my sleeping bag.
Yeah, and they know this because they had Priscilla come in years ago and kind of map out for them, like, okay, when Elvis stayed here,
how did it look?
Yeah, how did it look? And like right now, there's a cool, like in the foyer as well, there's this giant fireplace. And y'all, it's got the most enormous ornate, like I guess you call it a fire guard, like a gate, little grate thing. Well, that's where his headboard used to be. So if you happen to stay there, A, let us know, and B, that's where his headboard would have been.
Yeah. Well, I also want to know, like, if the original suite existed, I guess, before like '94, before they redid it, because that's kind of the research I saw.
Yeah.
Is that like, I guess how it was when Elvis was there in the '70s was how it was up until '94, and I'm guessing. Well, I don't know. You guys tell me. Does anybody know? Did they have it closed off? Like, were you not allowed to stay there? Was it more of just somewhere you went and toured? Like, was it just a tourist spot like back then? Or did they have it open for you to stay? And did any of you see it back then? Because that's what I want to see. Because there's got to be pictures and like videos and stuff that exist somewhere. Hopefully even like, I'm thinking hopefully maybe even Angie and them at Graceland have like archives of it.
Yeah.
Because like I would hope that they keep in contact with like now the Westgate, and hopefully they would have been like, hey, we're going to like demolish this room and redo it and rechange it and let them come in and kind of take pictures and video and stuff to have that in the archives. Because I want to see what it looks like when Elvis was actually there.
I'll tell you what we need to do, because I will say this, and this is a kudos to the International, the Hilton, the Westgate, all of these companies that own it. They have been very, very good at keeping Elvis's legacy there and the history about Elvis there alive and well, and for the people to look at. I did watch another thing that had like, they still have receipts. They have all this paperwork from when Elvis was there. So you know if they've got the paper, like they literally have like, here's the guest list, here's a telegram Elvis sent out to so-and-so and so-and-so and inviting them. Here's who all attended, here's who turned it down. I mean, they have all that. So I would think, surely, at least before they changed it, someone went in there with a camera and documented it. So they've got to have pictures. And you know, Westgate, if you're listening, you should have on your website just like a little dedicated like tab, like look, you know, see the Elvis experience or something.
Well, that should be like a part of the thing. Like we said, we haven't been to Vegas in years, and that's our goal, is to get back and do this whole tour. Because, you know, you can do like a backstage tour of the Westgate, and you can get to go where Elvis walked to the stage, and you get to go see his dressing room that he got ready in, which I'm going to go and chain myself to something in there so they can't get me out.
Well, here's the cool thing about it. The dressing room, it's been, of course, remodeled and refurbished, but the mirror that Elvis got ready in and looked at himself right before he went on stage, and the bar where it's still original.
Yeah. But they should do like, as part of that experience when you're doing that kind of tour and stuff, you know how like right now when you go to Graceland, before you get on the shuttle to do your tour, they put you in this room and they have this really cool like video that plays and kind of shows you all about like, you know, Elvis's career and highlights and all that stuff. They should put together like a video of what it looked like when Elvis stayed there at the like suite and stuff, and like you sit and like watch that before you do your little backstage tour.
Great idea.
I would love that.
Yeah. So, and just, you know, to keep in line with the Westgate, here's a couple other things. You know, we all know they have that iconic statue of Elvis. It's smack dab as soon as you walk in the door. This is right. The casino's on one side, the front desk is on the other. So, you know, paying a great tribute to Elvis. And then over here, here's another little wall. This just got a huge plaque and gives you fun facts about Elvis there at the International. So it's just some really interesting stuff. It's just so great that the hotel, and I feel like now even more so, they're embracing Elvis even more.
Yeah.
With those exhibits, the Elvis experience, getting to walk in his shoes, walk where he stood, walk in that hallway, getting to the stage and where he stood. So, and this is a really famous hotel, y'all. It also, a ton of movies have been filmed there, a ton in those suites. Like there's a bunch of scenes from different movies that are filmed in those suites. So I just thought, very interesting, Westgate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, amazing.
Yeah. And here's some pictures of Elvis when he was, here's another picture just of him. They've got him everywhere, y'all. Here's another picture.
Love.
These are all through the walls of the Westgate. It's amazing. Here's one. Elvis signing the contract.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, and like I said, there were other like artists and things that were in Vegas and appearing in Vegas. Like I think actually they say Liberace was probably the very first, because I think they said he started appearing in Vegas in like the 40s. Would that be right?
That probably. Okay. I mean, he is
that old.
Liberace and Wayne Newton and Elvis to me are the three men of Vegas.
Yeah.
Maybe Frank, throw on the Rat Pack too.
Yeah, well, he started like appearing there in like the 40s or whatever. But when you really think about who like started and who like conquered the residency thing is Elvis.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, as far as like his shows, and and you think about too, just what that was such, again, a pivotal time in Elvis's life, because the Vegas years were a whole new journey for him, a whole new experience for him. At the beginning of it, it was so exciting, and I think he was so thrilled.
Yeah.
And he was so excited with it. It gave him that chance after the movies, after the 68 comeback special, to be back on stage where he was most comfortable and loved being with the fans. It was that intimate connection again with the audience and the fans right there. It was that chance for him to put together a big orchestra show, and all the great, singers and band members and songs and stuff that he really wanted to do. But we also know that it was one of the most daunting, grueling, probably, what am I trying to say?
Most fulfilling yet most exhausting.
Times in his career and stuff, because like I said, it was so exhilarating in those first couple of years, but then it became so taxing and so daunting, because again, Elvis was doing 2 shows a night.
I don't know how. 2
shows a night after night after night. And there's so many people I've seen, in this particular journalist that I was talking about a minute ago, even he was like, it was grueling and exhausting. And I think it was like Joe Esposito and them were saying, nobody could do that today. Like nobody could do that today. Nobody could withstand the amount of energy and effort that Elvis put in, 2 shows a night, night after night, like that.
Well, you have to think about it. Elvis sang live, which now I don't know. I feel like people are like doing a little Pro Tools or a little lip syncing nowadays. And I mean, we all know that thing about Celine Dion. When she did her residency, she had them put in a special air filter system for her vocal cords. They just threw Elvis out there.
Yeah.
And we're like, here you go.
Yeah.
Hope, we'll try to turn the air conditioning up for you, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So under the conditions that he had to do, and just once again, pioneering it.
Yeah.
Trailblazing
And
it.
that's the thing is, Elvis packed that show night after night after night the entire time he was there.
There were hundreds of sold out shows, like 600 or 800.
Yeah. I think he did. I think I looked up and it was like 686 shows or something he did over that period, and packed them out all the way up until the end. Even when things got a little, sketchy there at the end, and he, wasn't in his right mind frame, and he wasn't necessarily giving it his best and his all like he was, because he was just so exhausted and just so over it. They were still, people were packing the seats, people were filling the seats. So yeah, a lot of people can, maybe credit it to other people, but again, Elvis is the original. He is Vegas. He is the icon. In my mind, Elvis is the sole reason that all of these celebrities now have been able to do residencies and been able to have great success like they have, like Celine Dion and Carrie Underwood and
Britney Spears, Garth,
all these other people. Elvis was the original. He's the one that showed people it can be done, it can happen. Like he's
Side note, I'm loving Elvis in between us here.
I know.
Picture. This is cute. It's like Elvis is with us here.
Another cool thing that I read, and I don't know if this is true. Again, I was going down a rabbit hole of reading all this Vegas stuff, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. But I read, and it was supposedly an interview with Joe Gershio, which Joe Gershio was Elvis's orchestra leader. So when Elvis decided to do, the international hotel shows and stuff, he told the Colonel, I want big. I want a full band. I want a big band. So he added the orchestra and stuff and Joe Gershio. But, the whole 2001 Odyssey when Elvis comes out, the dun, 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 that is so oh my gosh, every time. I don't care if I'm at an ETA show.
I'm taking Elvis out.
If I'm at an ETA show or if I'm at an Elvis show or I'm just watching something on TV, as soon as you hear that music, and then you Ronnie on the drums.
It's like the Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, and you get Ronnie on the drum. It is my heart starts beating fast. I get so excited, and I can't imagine Elvis not coming out to that song. But anyway, Joe Gershio was saying that him and his wife were attending some kind of 2001 Odyssey musical or show or something, and that song came on, and he said his wife literally leaned over and said, when you hear this song, don't you just imagine Elvis coming out? Aren't you waiting for Elvis to come out? And he was right then, I was yes. And he was we started using that song for Elvis's entrance, and it was never the same.
There's always a good woman behind a man.
Well, and it is I can't imagine, literally, I can't imagine that song without Elvis coming out. And it is so exciting. And that's what I'm so excited about. That's why I love That's the Way It Is and stuff. And I can't wait for this extra unseen footage that Baz is bringing to us, because even when they do those video shots in those old documentaries, when you hear the band playing but you see Elvis backstage and he's all nervous and he's he's getting ready and stuff, I'm just oh, it's so exciting.
That is exciting.
It's so exciting. But I thought that was a really cool thing, if that's true, if that happened and Joe Gershio and his wife were, and then they heard
I'm
the
sure
song.
it's in a book somewhere, in one of the many Elvis books. But speaking of that, so to connect this up to our other piece of Vegas history news, we showed you that little up-close picture of Elvis. Did you notice his cute suit and kerchief? And then let me show you a couple of more here that I've got.
And let's all face it,
Elvis
ladies.
on site.
Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen. This is some of the hottest Elvis ever looked.
True.
This 68,
72 is my favorite.
The
Elvis.
68 special on to I mean, holy cow. Elvis was looking incredible.
Yeah.
Here. Incredible.
Looking good.
But this is literally in February 1969. He's with, I think, the hotel president and the booking guy or something for the international. And he's there on the grounds when they're still building the hotel, and he is signing the contract for him to perform there. Yeah. Super cool.
And this is another, we talk about his fashion. This is another iconic look for Elvis.
Yeah. Because in these pictures, because we all know the press conference he did after this, where he had the black suit on with the kerchief and stuff. And that's where we get the great laughing pictures.
Yes.
And those were the 3 pictures that you showed in the villa just a second ago.
Yes.
Those are the 3 pictures and stuff. But another really cool thing, which let me just find it here. Another really cool thing that I discovered that ties into this is they're doing a thing called the Hall of Excellence. And this is where it's cool. It's being curated by Tom Brady. So I know a lot of you know Tom Brady because he is he's an icon in football, in sports.
Yeah.
He's a 7-time Super Bowl champion. But him, along with sportscasting legend Jim Gray, are opening at the Fountainbleu, Las Vegas. Fountainbleu. However you say that.
Great pronunciation. That was it.
Thank you. It's French, apparently. They are going to bring together memorabilia from the world's most celebrated icons in an exhibit at this hotel. And, of course, you can't have an icons exhibit in Las Vegas without Elvis. So they are going to include an exhibit of Elvis, and it features none other than the blue suit that you see on your screen, which is the suit that Elvis was wearing when he signed those contracts. And in the bottom there, you can't really see it, but in the bottom there, it has that picture of him in it with the gentleman. And then they're even going to have the opening invitation for his July opening night in 1969 on display as well. But yeah, it's going to be a part of that exhibit.
So amazing. So kudos to
Cool.
Graceland for donating
Yes.
or, lending,
Loaning
the suit. I'm just wondering where the kerchief is at. Because that's my favorite part of the suit.
I know. I wonder where it is.
Where's that kerchief?
I know.
Or, scarf. Neck scarf.
But how cool, again, how cool is it that all of these items still exist? Like, still exist.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely amazing.
And now other people in Vegas can enjoy them. Maybe
Yes.
people that live on the West Coast that may never get to Memphis. They may never get to Graceland. And they can get a little piece of Elvis to, look at. So.
Yeah. So really cool that all this stuff is happening in Vegas right now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think a lot of it is in coordination with, Elvis's 90th birthday and, such. And then I'm sure
the 55th anniversary.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the success of the Elvis movie and then what's to come with Baz Luhrmann and stuff. But so exciting, again, to see that all these years later, people are still paying homage and honoring Elvis in so many different and new and exciting ways for, people to come and see. Because imagine how many visitors, how many visitors a year Las Vegas gets. And now, of course, Elvis has always been synonymous with the international, but now at this Fountainbleu, Las Vegas, there's going to be this really cool exhibit.
It's amazing.
Is.
Elvis is alive and well in Vegas.
He is, and it's just so cool to think, I think he would be so proud and stuff of this happening. Because, it's so cool because, again, thinking about Elvis back in 1969, how excited yet how nervous he must have been about this whole endeavor. Because also, Elvis had a run at a show back in 1956 in Las Vegas and it didn't go well. It didn't go well. The fans just really weren't, into.
They hadn't caught up to him.
Yeah, they weren't into his music. He was ahead of his time. They weren't into his music and what he was doing, and it didn't go so well. So he was very intrepidatious and nervous about this whole Vegas thing for that reason, But then also again because he was delving back into that performance world and stuff. So, but man, what great photos and images and video and songs that brought us from the Vegas years and even wardrobe. Because, the whole Vegas years is where the jumpsuits all began. Because, when Elvis came off the 68 comeback special, when he first started the Vegas shows, he was doing the two-piece outfits. He was doing the two-piece outfits. And then he decided hey, I need something that's a little more flashy and it's going to work a little bit better, for all my movements and everything. And so then the iconic jumpsuits were born.
Vegas is responsible for a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
And just, literally, I don't think that anybody, whether you're a huge Elvis fan or you're not an Elvis fan or you're a novice Elvis fan, you can't not think of Vegas and think of Elvis.
Yeah. He's up there. When I think of Vegas, I think of Elvis, Wayne Newton, and the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
And gambling.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
So let's look at some comments and things.
Yeah.
Have any of you all been to Vegas? Are you going to go? And that's another thing Holly and I are super sad about. But a couple of really cool events and things that are coming up is they're doing a summer festival. I think it's the Tribute Festival coming up in, I think it's July 9th through 11th. Holly and I so wanted to make this work and go to it, and we just couldn't. So we are over here boohooing. But if you can go because it's this 4-day festival, and it is heavy hitters that are going to be performing at the International. I'm just going to keep calling it the International, even though it's the Westgate. Going to be performing at the International Hotel on the stage where Elvis performed. They're even going to do backstage tours, but we're talking, this is Dwight Eisenhower, Jay Dupuis, Gordon Hendricks, which I'm so excited for Gordon, because I don't know if this is Jay and Dwight's first time. I think they've done some international engagements before, but I know that I was reading something while I was doing all this research that I think this is Gordon's first time. And he said he's so nervous and but so excited to, see the view. Because that's the thing, is to stand on that stage. You were literally standing and performing where Elvis did, but you were looking out and seeing what Elvis like saw and how that like experience was for Elvis performing in Vegas. But yeah, it's got so many like great hitters. Like I'm trying to think, there's so many others. I think Victor Trevino Jr. is there.
Is Ted Torres?
I think Ted Torres is there. Maybe even Taylor Rodriguez.
Y'all, I'm telling you,
Robert Washington.
Star-studded.
It is like a who's who of ETA.
Yeah.
And then I saw another really cool thing that I wanted to tell you all about, just in case you can't go to that I saw.
But if you're in the area, if you're even within 2 to 3 hours away, y'all need to go.
Because I'm telling you something about this. Like, Holly and I love our Elvis tribute artists, and they all are great. And they all are dynamic performers and have their, you know, fortes and stuff. But I'm telling you, as far as Jay and Dwight and Gordon, you will not get 3 better vocalists. Like Gordon and Dwight sound so similar to Elvis. It's eerie. And Jay, his stage look and movements and performance,
unbelievable.
Holy cow.
Unbelievable.
And I know Holly is dying because I know
don't say it.
Jay's gonna do Patch It Up on the International Hotel stage where Elvis did.
Why am I not going? Y'all, I've seriously got FOMO.
Please send money to 809.
So silly.
Nashville. No, I'm just kidding.
This is gonna be me for the next like 3 weeks.
I know, seriously. But they're also doing this really cool thing. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Travis Powell, but he is also an ETA. Holly and I aren't as familiar with him. We've seen him several times because he's been in the Ultimate.
But just a little snippet.
Yeah, he's been in the Ultimate contest before. He was actually a contestant and a finalist in the Nashville Elvis Festival. But yeah, we've never seen a full-on performance of him. It's literally only been him competing and getting to do 1 or 2 songs. But they are doing, at the Westgate, they're doing a 1-night only concert to recreate Elvis's opening 1969 Return to the Stage, and it's Travis Powell is going to be doing it, and it's going to take place on July 31st this year, July 31st, but that's when Elvis did his opening, and yeah, they're going to recreate that concert. That's pretty cool.
I'm telling you.
That's pretty cool.
I'm going to have to quit talking about it. I'm going to have to quit talking about it. Let's look at some comments.
I know.
I'm so distraught. So distraught.
I mean, I am too. Hello, Deborah. She says, it's beautiful. Wouldn't you have loved to have stayed in it? Absolutely. I
hope they do it. Like I say, there's...
I'm just trying to like wrap my head around like how, like, I mean, literally 5,000 square feet. And now 13,000 is huge.
Yeah, I hope they put some videos. Like Westgate needs to go in there and do a little tour of it. And put it on YouTube, because there are a couple of videos, but they're from several years ago, and they don't have anything yet of what it is now.
Yeah. Laura says his best music was after the 68 special, the Memphis album, and then the Vegas years. I know.
Those are my favorites.
Yeah. I mean, I love all eras of Elvis. Yeah. And there are songs in every era that I love and appreciate. Because again, you know, Elvis, like, even though he died at 42, he lived like 30 lifetimes.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like 30 different people and reinventing himself. You know, I say this all the time. Literally, 50s Elvis is not 60s Elvis, is not 70s Elvis in any way. Vocals, songs, looks, clothing, I mean, style, anything. But yes, I absolutely love the Vegas years.
Me too.
You know, like when Holly and I, this is a little hint, when Holly and I were putting together our t-shirt for this year's goodie boxes and stuff, it's totally built around That's the Way It Is. And that album and those 12 original songs that appeared on that. And when we were going through it, I was just like, love it, amazing, incredible, can't live without it. I mean, it's just like song after song. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Somebody was asking to see our shirts because you can't really see. So let's look. Heather's probably dying. We're matching today. She's so pumped.
Yeah. So it says Elvis Presley with little sequins, and then it says Las Vegas.
We wore it in honor of the Westgate.
Yeah. I was like, we got to wear our Vegas shirts. Oh, Sue, you were going to love him. She's seeing Gordon in the UK next
Oh.
Saturday. Please tell Gordon that Holly and Heather said hello. We love him.
We love him so much.
He is an amazing performer, but an even more amazing human being.
Yeah.
We love that man.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Mary. Thank you. We enjoy Sundays with you as well. Jennifer says she's always wanted to go to Vegas. So you've never been. You got to get there, girl.
Got to.
You got to get
It's
there.
a bucket list. You got to go once. There's so many comments. Hold on. I'm trying to look at them.
I know.
Let's see. And I think I saw a couple of people are going to the Summerfest. Jelly. Total jelly on here.
Could I sneak in your suitcase?
Oh.
Let's see.
I've
Laura says that she goes to Vegas a lot. Jealous. And she's surprised that there isn't more things Elvis besides the Westgate. Well, you know, maybe this Fountainbleu will be just the beginning, because maybe people will see how cool it is and what great like reviews and stuff it gets.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, but yeah, I'm surprised about that too. I would think like, you know, because literally we talk about like Elvis sightings, and Elvis is everywhere all the time. Like it seems like anytime you walk in a restaurant or a shop or whatever. So I would think he would just be plastered all over Vegas.
Well, Joe says going to Vegas on July 6th, staying at the Westgate until the 14th.
Wow.
Sad. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Oh, yay. So Summer, you're going? She says that she's going to celebrate the 1969 at the Westgate in July. They're recreating the show. The Westgate is awesome, full of Elvis and his beautiful statue. So you must be going to Travis Powell's show.
Love it.
Let us know.
Roseanne's on here. Hey, Roseanne. Oh, she said she just saw Dean Z Friday and that he was on fire as always.
Roseanne.
Of course.
Roseanne.
He was part of the Vegas activities.
Tell Dean I said hello. If you go see him again anytime soon, I'm missing him. I haven't seen him since March, and now I won't see him until August.
Lord. Ellie said she didn't get our weekday posted. They're posted on the Facebook page. So if you are watching this right now on Facebook, this is our page. It says Holly Norman. I'm trying to change it to Holly and Heather, but it's a process. But just scroll, like once we get off here, just scroll down and you'll be able to see all of our little posties. I mean, we're pretty much posting every day now, y'all.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. But I hope you're enjoying it. But that's all you have to do. And if you want to make sure that you're notified, just hit the follow button or the like button, and you can hit, there's like a little notification bell. And then that way, anytime we post something, it'll pop it up on your phone or iPad and be like, Holly's live, or they just posted a video or whatnot. So
Deborah says Elvis just continues to get more popular. Yes, he does. And she says no one seems to have that work ethic either. You know, that's true.
that is true.
You know, that is true. There is not a celebrity that, you know, had Elvis's, I think, his passion and his work ethic and just his true love of performing and the fans. Yeah.
For real.
He had it in spades.
Barbara said she had a lobster dinner in the show for $20.
That's not happening today.
I probably couldn't get a Coke in Vegas for $20. What do y'all think?
Yeah, Sarah says Elvis at the bar pretty high for Vegas. Yes. Yes.
I know. Laura said she wished that they would
Oh, I love that. Tisa says when you take the tour of the downstairs that leads to his dressing room and the stage, they have all of the pictures and that paperwork in the hallway.
Love it. That's so good. I'm glad they're displaying it. I know.
Thank you. Laura says I'll put in my 1,000. See, I'm telling you, we could ELVIS Besties, we can make this happen.
Oh Lord, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I know, Laura. That's exactly what I thought when I started seeing this week, and that the Westgate was redoing this villa and putting those pictures. That's exactly what I thought. She's like, can you imagine having those pics in your house? Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Do you know how much this probably cost to make? $1 million, I bet. Laura said she thinks you have to buy a ticket to his stepbrother's show, and then the tour comes with it.
Yeah, I think his stepbrother does do like things there and get like a thing. But I think you can just do the backstage tour on your own. I mean, like as far as like, I think you can just go and like purchase tickets for it.
Okay, yeah. Tammy said David Stanley lives in the Westgate. Really? You can live there?
Interesting.
I'd like to retire there because I would have buffets the casino. I could go see a show anytime I wanted. That's a good retirement. Oh, Francis is in Tupelo. Well, I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Angelique, thank you so much for those stars. I'm gonna put those in my little Elvis piggy bank to get to Vegas.
I know we should have a little piggy bank back here.
We should find a slot machine that's a piggy bank and be like,
how hilarious would that be? Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh yes, Catherine, they should do that. Absolutely. She says, you've seen that big sphere thing that they have in Vegas now where they put the different things on it and have shows in it. She's like, can you imagine if they showed the comeback special, or that's the way it is at the Sphere? She says she saw they were doing the Wizard of Oz soon. I saw that too when they turned it like ruby red.
That's amazing.
Yes, Barbara says he constantly drank Gatorade. And water for his throat. I know. Perhaps that's what I need today. I'm feeling like Elvis.
You do.
I'm feeling like Elvis in the dry heat of Vegas.
And I feel like we did this exact same thing last year at this time. I feel like you were gunky and I wasn't.
I know. I feel like I've always had a little bit of trouble with allergies, but I feel like the last couple of years has been like really bad. I know, Barbara. She says Elvis wasn't the first. Barbara Streisand opened it. She couldn't fill the showroom though. Elvis did twice a night. I know. That's what I thought was so funny. Because to a lot of people, I'm not a Barbara Streisand fan, but I know a lot of people like love her. Like,
I mean, the woman can sing, and I'm not gonna lie. I love some of her songs. You Don't Bring Me Flowers Anymore with Neil Diamond, because y'all know how much I love Neil Diamond.
Yeah. I mean, she can sing. I'm just not a Barbara Streisand fan, but I just think it's hilarious that, Colonel and them were like, she's going first. Work out the kinks.
I can't believe she agreed to it.
I mean,
because she was pretty big even then. I mean, she's like an icon now, but she was pretty big back then. Hilarious.
Love it.
I'm telling you, y'all's comments are hilarious. I love it. Love it, love it. Everybody's going to see Gordon. Carrie's, let's see, hold on. Vula is going to the Arkansas Elvis Festival at the end of October. Oh, I bet that'd be so fun. The Arkansas Elvis Festival, and it's the end of October. I'm sure that's a beautiful time. To go. Perfect weather.
Bonnie says there's a hall in Cleveland, Ohio. Elvis performed at it, and it's on YouTube, and nothing has changed. One day she's gonna go. Wow,
that's amazing. That is amazing. Oops. Gil's going to see an ETA in Niagara Falls. So good. They're everywhere, y'all. They're everywhere.
And are any of you going to the 4th of July weekend extravaganza coming up at Graceland, where they're going to do the fireworks and stuff? I know Sean Clush and Emilio Santoro are doing a great show that weekend.
Yep.
That looks exciting.
I know. Thank you, Tammy. She said she's enjoying the weekly posts. Well, we're going to try. We've got this train going now. We just got to keep the coal in the...
As a matter of fact, after we get done here, I got to get Holly to help me with some of my Tuesday Treasure videos. Because I'm like, it's hard for me to do the video and like show the stuff if it does something. So I'm like, I'm going to be
her videographer today.
Yeah, I'm like, I need your help.
I
need your help.
That's so funny. I know, if you would see Heather and I, we are so not tech savvy. I swear to you. It's always something hilarious.
I'm better than you.
You are better than me.
But I'm still not great.
Listen, that little Dollywood video I put up Thursday, it's only like a little 30-minute concert. It took me probably 2 or 3 hours to figure out how to upload it. So, be patient.
Yeah. Hello, Terry. She says, have you seen the ETA calendar that Travis Powell is selling for St. Jude's? I haven't. I've seen the one that Rhonda Conley is doing. She does it every year. She's been doing it for a really long time. And raises a lot of money for St. Jude's. But it's always a great calendar.
I know. I think voting's open.
No, it's over.
It's over.
Everybody's already been picked. The months have been picked. But a lot of great ones.
Really?
A lot of great ones got it. Yeah. I'm trying to remember who. I know, like, of course, Dean Z was December. He
Was
always,
he? I
he
wasn't
always
because
is.
of the
She does
Z,
she does it by their alphabetize their name. But I know he was in it. I know Dwight is going to be in it. Emilio's going to be in it. Cody Dayanak's going to be in it.
Fantastic.
Bill Cherry.
What a great
for
what
Teresa.
A great cause.
Bill Cherry's going to be there. I think Bill Cherry's January Teresa. So start your year off right. Our bestie Teresa, she loves some Bill Cherry.
I've had a bunch of people on here commented that they love Bill Cherry.
But yeah, it's a really great calendar this year.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we need to get one because I love St. Jude's.
I do too.
I've always donated to that organization.
Well, I'll go on her Facebook and look.
Yeah.
And get you one, and it'll just stay stuck in the month of December.
I mean, I love the others too.
Well, I hope there's something great for October. I hope it's like Dwight or something. I would love that. It's not going to be though. He's probably in the middle somewhere.
Let me see.
Maybe it's Emilio Santoro.
No,
You might.
Could be.
You don't know.
Could be.
I don't know. Maybe I'll get a calendar and then I'll show it to you guys, and I'll have Heather guess who she thinks that each month is.
Oh, Ben Thompson's in there.
Cute. Cute. So yeah, that's a great thing. I know Heather and I do some charity events. We haven't in the last couple of years. We used to do our Elvis Bingo for Alzheimer's, and I mean to bring that back because that was fun.
Elvis Bingo is fun.
Elvis Bingo is super fun. But y'all, we've got so much going on here. I swear I'm gonna have to quit my job.
Maybe towards the end of the year.
I need to be a full-time Elvis enthusiast.
Yeah, maybe after Elvis week, maybe some of our Sundays we'll do our Elvis Bingo because it is super fun.
It is super fun.
I love it.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, is there anything else? Have we covered everything for this week? There was a lot going on
I know.
this week. And, a lot of this stuff, like we say, the festival we're talking about does not even start till July 9th. So if you still want to go, I highly recommend it. And you still got time to book your flight and your hotel room and all that. And then I think all this stuff with the Westgate and the Hall of Fame, I don't even know if the Hall of Fame exhibit is opened yet, or it's opening very shortly, the one with Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, I don't know
that, but so all of this is kind of in the future if you want to research it and try to go.
Yeah,
that would be a super fun-filled summer trip for an Elvis bestie. So
yeah.
All right, well y'all stay safe, stay cool, because it is hotter than blue blazes, and we'll see you multiple times this week, starting off with our Monday motivation. I'm keeping it going, y'all. And then Heather and I are going to go film some Tuesday treasures. So you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you very, very soon.
Bye.
Bye.